Next to Green Lake is one of the several areas Versa and crews were at on Friday, working to restore power to those impacted by Thursday afternoon storm.
For our crews, this is actually the most significant weather system, most impactful weather system in terms of outages that they've seen all year.
The powerful storm brought statewide tree damage and road debris.
We had crews ready, but we didn't know how quick and how hard it was actually going to hit.
A severe storm event like this, which is coming in the summer, is a bit different than a winter storm event. You know, in the winter, we don't have leaves on the trees. The ground is frozen. So in this case, the trees can actually catch all of the wind that's coming at them in the leaves like sails.
At its peak, Versant Power estimates 16,000 of its customers lost power.
The peaks of the outages were in Penobscot and Hancock County.
And CMP estimates 46,000 of its 670,000 customers lost power as well.
More than 5,000 customers, for instance, on a line that was impacted by a tree in the Bethel area.
On the coast, several ships and docks damaged. A cruise ship in Rockland broke away from its mooring, resulting in 4 people falling overboard. According to the Mid-Coast Villager, they were safely rescued. As of Friday evening, state authorities tell us they believe there was only one storm-related fatality. It occurred on Main Street in Corinth Thursday afternoon, when Penobscot County Sheriff Troy Morton says a tree broke apart and went through the front windshield of a passing car, striking and killing the driver.
One of the children in a car seat in the back was treated and released. The second one was taken to a hospital with minor injuries. Obviously, investigation is still ongoing, but we had a tremendous storm that swept through the Corinth area here. And it's an older tree that sets right along Route 15 here, and the top of the tree broke off.
As storm recovery continues, officials ask people to stay away from downed trees and power lines.
Just keep a good distance away from all of that. Let the professionals who are trained go ahead and clear those trees and make those repairs.
You want to make sure you give them enough space, not just for their safety, but for your safety too.
Doug Banks reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, I noticed over the weekend the cleanup continues. I saw like an army of like cable trucks out there trying to restore.
I did as well.
Yeah.
Big thanks to all those people who work really hard to help that recovery after all our storms.
Thank goodness for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now let's get a full look at our forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go as we check out the wave heights, just at around 2 feet according to the buoys. Right nearby, a little bit higher, further off towards the north and east, but the active surface farther out towards sea at around 5 to 8 feet at this moment in time. Meanwhile, as we check out the water temperatures, in the 50s and 60s right now. Overall, pretty similar farther out towards sea, very much on the warmer side, farther down toward the south. As we do take a look at things, we do have clouds tracking from the west and going off towards the east at this time. We'll get those out of here. You can see a little bit of precipitation over in parts of Canada. That will leave us alone. High pressure will be in full control today with a mostly sunny sky. And overall today, again, we'll have the winds picking up today. With winds gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. So futurecast moving forward for us, again, a mostly sunny sky. We'll have some clouds from time to time, becoming breezy as well, and we'll have that gusty wind again up to 25 miles per hour. More clouds on the way later on tonight. It will become rather mostly cloudy at times, even partly cloudy, and we'll have some rain on the way coming up, but not till about Tuesday night and Wednesday. Here we are right there, showers and thunderstorms on the way as we head towards Tuesday night and even into parts of Wednesday. And that's where we have to watch things. So there is a marginal threat for some of those storms to turn strong to perhaps severe. Some gusty winds and hail will be possible with some of those storms as well. So here's what we're looking at too, the monkey meter, as we do check things out. As we head towards Tuesday and Wednesday, dew points will be on the rise coming up with that as well, into the middle to possibly upper 60s. So your forecast for today, we have a mostly sunny sky, breezy out there as well with highs in the upper 70s and that west wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. All right, later on tonight, we do have middle 50s under a partly cloudy sky and that south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour, so backing off for a little while. Upper 70s for tomorrow, mostly cloudy and windy with that south wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour, so really becoming gusty again. All righty, Larry, let's check out your extended forecast. We have more showers and thunderstorms coming up for your Wednesday with highs in the mid-70s. And then for your Thursday, here we go, partly cloudy with highs in the upper 70s. And then low 80s for your Friday under a mostly sunny sky.
Keep your boat safe, functional, and beautiful with a Shoremaster boat lift from Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales rep can help you choose the perfect lift for your boat. Shoremaster's exclusive Whisper winch offers the industry's smoothest and quietest operation. Add speed and convenience with a Shoremaster lift motor. And Shoremaster's modular infinity design makes it easy to upgrade with accessories when you're ready. Take your boating experience to the next level with a Shoremaster boat lift from Hammond Lumber Company.
Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
See Spot. See Spot run. Run Spot run. Oh no, Spot. Oh no, many spots. Time to call Penobscot Cleaning. Our professional cleaners come to you. Our truck-mounted systems are quick and cause little disruption to your home or office. We also clean upholstered furniture and leather. Oriental or fine area rugs are specially cleaned right in our shop. We'll give you the cleanest carpets guaranteed. Visit our website at penobscotcleaning.com. Oh look at that, spotless.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The American death toll is growing from the war in Iran. 3 service members are dead and 1 is still missing. Overnight, Iran striking back after the U.S. attacked for 9 straight nights. ABC's Karen Waugh is in Washington with the details.
This morning, the U.S. military carrying out more airstrikes against Iran. As many as 3 more American troops were killed over the weekend after Iran targeted a U.S. base in Jordan. 1 soldier is also still missing. The most recent death in northern Iraq. This video circulating online appears to show Iranian missiles hitting a military base in Jordan. Central Command also says a body found could be the missing 3rd service member. 18 Americans have now died from the Iran war. There are roughly 50,000 troops stationed in the region.
We feel very badly, but you know, those great people, those great patriots were out there fighting that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
President Trump, speaking after attending the World Cup finals, says the U.S. will continue its attacks to honor the fallen soldiers. Overnight, the U.S. hit a series of targets to weaken Iran's ability to control the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has retaliated each time, sending missiles to U.S. allies, targeting a desalination plant in Kuwait that supplies about 90% of the country's drinking water, and setting off air raid sirens in Jordan.
Are the Iranians getting information, targeting information, intelligence from another country? If they are, that would explain how they're getting very accurate in their ability to reach out and strike not only our base in Jordan, but say the desalination plant, power plant in Kuwait.
Energy Secretary Chris Wright says President Trump will continue attacking until, quote, the mission is done.
His focus is on degrading the Iranian ability to terrorize the world, to hold world commerce hostage as they are doing right now.
A U.S. official tells ABC News more American warplanes are being sent to the Middle East, including fighter jets stationed in the UK and Germany. Karen Waugh, ABC News, Washington.
Well, meanwhile, severe weather is still hitting parts of the country with serious flooding, specifically in the tri-state area. Heavy rain caused several Cincinnati neighborhoods to flood in minutes, with residents in Hyde Park saying it took only about 20 to 30 minutes for the downpour to become a serious flood threat. Now, people in the tri-state area are continuing to clean up and survey the damage from flooding caused by powerful storms. Oakley, Hyde Park, Norwood, and Fairfax were all hit especially hard, with heavy rain leaving streets, parking lots, businesses, and homes flooded. And in Queens, New York, this expressway is currently flooded. And in New Jersey, vehicles abandoned in the high water in Newark. The FAA issued ground stops across the storm zone with at least 2,300 cancellations and over 8,000 delays across the country over the weekend.
Well, now to the investigation into recent shootings by immigration officers in Texas and right here in Maine. The New York Times reports federal agents have been told the FBI will no longer investigate confrontations involving ICE officers. But the Trump administration denies that report. ABC's Karen Waugh also has that report.
This morning, the Trump administration is denying a report in the New York Times, saying federal agents have been told the FBI will no longer investigate confrontations involving immigration agents. The Times reports agents were notified such cases would be instead handled by an agency called Homeland Security Investigations, which is an arm of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. This effectively leaves the agency to investigate itself. The FBI and Homeland Security deny there's been a policy change, saying this is false, adding the FBI will continue to investigate in accordance with agency policy. This report comes after 2 recent deadly shootings involving ICE officers, one in Biddeford, Maine, the other in Houston, Texas. In the Houston case, White House border czar Tom Homan says there may be an issue if the officers failed to activate emergency lights on their vehicles during the pursuit.
If they didn't activate the lights, again, I haven't seen that video. If they didn't activate the lights, then there's an issue there, right?
Video from the incident does not appear to show the emergency lights activated. The agents in both cases were not wearing body cameras. Homan says ICE is moving forward with plans to equip agents with cameras.
I think body cameras lets the American people know what that officer sees when he takes that action.
Karen Waugh, ABC News, Washington.
Well, coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll learn all about what's happening in Hollywood.
That and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
ABC 7, Fox 22. The place we call home, telling Maine stories wherever you roam. From sunrise shores to forests of pine, hard work, strong hearts, values that shine. From old towns to harbors, back roads to ocean blue. Neighbors helping neighbors in all that we do. Through storms and clear skies, day after day, we're here with the stories that matter in Maine. From mountains to sea, standing strong and true. This is Maine, this is home on ABC 7, Fox 22.
Webb's RV Center has a 4-acre lot with over 75 previously owned campers all on sale, plus another 4 acres of new RVs and motorhomes. Webb's RV will take anything in trade. You can buy a camper anywhere, but be sure to buy your next camper at your local neighbor. A website can't service your RV, but Webb's RV will. And they have the biggest service department in the state of Maine to help you enjoy your RV or motorhome.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on and the pencil is sharp.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Monday, July 20th, 2026, and this is also National Ice Cream Day.
This might be my favorite holiday. Well, this holiday was created by President Ronald Reagan in 1984 as a way to celebrate a treat enjoyed by 90% of Americans. Ice cream began as a frozen treat in China and Persia, and recipes have evolved over the centuries. The average American now eats about 18 to 22 pounds of ice cream every single year. Vanilla remains the most popular flavor, followed by chocolate, strawberry, butter pecan, and then cookies and cream.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yum. What's your favorite?
Mint chocolate chip.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
We have the same favorite.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before.
We probably
but,
have.
Yeah, I like a lot of them though. If I get
Same.
Ben and Jerry's, I like fish food.
Yes,
you know,
that
it's the
one's
chocolate
really yummy.
with the yum yum yum.
And
So-
I like a classic twist, like soft serve
Yeah,
twist.
me too.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So
Do you like the dip? I
no,
like the
don't do
dip every now and then. So
I'll do some jimmies
yeah,
on it though.
I like some jimmies.
Yeah.
I'm like a big kid.
It's all good.
Yeah. Happy Ice Cream Day,
Yes.
everyone. All right, time for some history. It was on this date from 1802, from ice cream to cheese.
Right.
A 1,235-pound cheese ball was
Wow.
created at a farm in Massachusetts and then was delivered by horse-drawn sleigh to President Thomas Jefferson at the White House, a trip that took them 3 weeks. It had been pressed at the farm of Elijah Brown and was made by combining the milk from every cow in the town of Cheshire.
What a committed present.
How about that?
Yeah.
And
That's a long time.
they had to load it on a sleigh and take the slow ride all the way to Washington.
Wow.
So pretty neat. All right, in 1881, Native American leader Sitting Bull surrendered to the U.S. Army 5 years after the infamous defeat of George Custer at the Battle of Little Bighorn. And in 1917, on this date, America's World War I draft lottery began as the Secretary of State picked the first draftee from a bull while wearing a blindfold. More than 100,000 Americans would be killed in World War I.
And in 1969, astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first men to walk the moon. They had traveled 240,000 miles from Earth, and the entire world was watching as Armstrong spoke his famous words saying, quote, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," as he stepped from the lunar module. In 1977, a flash flood hit Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and more than 80 people were killed, and the flood caused more than $350 million in damage. And that same town was nearly wiped out by a devastating flood 88 years earlier, which killed more than 2,000. And in 1977, the U.S. Navy frigate USS Constitution set sail from Boston for the first time in 116 years.
Old Ironsides.
Yeah.
You can go check it out for yourself.
Pretty cool.
Still down there. All right, for birthdays today, they include actress Sandra Oh, who is 55 today. Musician Carlos Santana is 79. And dancer and singer Julianne Howe is 38 as well. You could say she's an actress as well. She does
a lot.
all
Yeah,
kinds
she
of stuff.
hosted Dancing with the Stars the past 3 years.
Did
I mean,
she?
her
Yeah.
her brother Derek is one of the judges now.
Yeah,
so
he's a wonderful dancer
yeah,
too.
they're very famous, very
Yeah.
big.
Happy birthday to you also if your birthday's today.
We'll turn things right back over to meteorologist Stephen Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. Now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. We have some clouds that are passing through this morning. We'll get those out of here. We're in for a nice day as the winds will be picking up as we head towards later on. Overall, a mostly sunny sky will be seen. We have a little bit of activity further off towards the north and west. High pressure will be in full control as it will keep the clouds clear. And fortunately, the smoke will be staying away from us today as well. The air quality will be looking nice for us. Overall, we will be looking nice. A mostly sunny sky, a few passing clouds today. We'll have clouds on the way later on tonight and more clouds on the way as we head towards your Tuesday. So overall for today, lots of sunshine, becoming breezy with highs in the upper 70s and that west wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Overnight, here we go, a partly cloudy sky with lows in the mid 50s. Look at that south breeze really backing off to around 5 miles per hour. Already your hourly forecast as we check things out. Lots of sunshine today, a few passing clouds possible with temperatures warming up into the upper 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, still to come here this morning, Jack Webb with sports.
Don't go away.
For the best selection in classic and contemporary furnishings, stop by Richard Parks Furniture on High Street in Ellsworth. Handcrafted New England-made bedrooms and dining rooms, imported Scandinavian recliners and upholstery, more than 40 lines of furniture for the home and patio. Richard Parks Furniture is your #1 stop for quality, functionality, and well-designed furniture at affordable prices. Richard Parks Furniture.
Discover Richard Parks.
132 High Street in Ellsworth.
Discover Richard.
Happy Endings in downtown Bangor. This is where a delicious dinner meets a great drink. From the first bite to the last, Happy Endings serves the kind of meal you don't rush. And behind the bar, smooth, crisp drinks made just right. Perfect for date night, a night out, or your new favorite stop downtown. Happy Endings, 32 Main Street, Bangor. Open 7 days a week. Follow us on Facebook for specials and events.
Are you experiencing foot pain? Comfort Shoes and More has a team of experts trained in pet orthotics to help you find relief. They offer tailored fittings, shoe modifications, customized orthotics, and much more for the ordinary or for the hard-to-fit foot, with fashionable and functional footwear from today's top brands: Hoka, Brooks, Keen, Teva, Taos, Ufus, and Birkenstocks. From running to walking, casual or dress, they have it all. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
ABC 7 and Fox 22's Jack Webb, named Maine Sportscaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association.
Folks, in the NFL, we have the Pro Bowl. Here in the great state of Maine, we have the Lobster Bowl. Welcome back in, everybody. I'm Max Sturm, here at Lewiston High School in Lewiston, where all the action of the 36th Annual Lobster Bowl took place. This is my first time coming to the Lobster Bowl, and I was so impressed by what I saw. Not only just the game, but the community impact that this game has. Seeing how many people showed up for it, the crowds, how loud they got, and of course, all of the charity donations. But we will get to all of that. I don't want to tease you guys anymore. We have some business to take care of first, showing you those highlights. On a rainy day, the game started off very defensively. Each team getting a couple of defensive stops on their first drives. Punts were going back and forth, but that did not last long because on the West's next drive, they were able to capitalize as Colin Moran from Bonnie Eagle broke the plane and the scoreless tie to take an 8-0 lead after the 2-point conversion. Then in the second quarter, the East showed the West their strength. They ran a 2 QB offense, which is very atypical, but they were switching quarterbacks every couple of plays, but make no mistake. On their scoring drive, it was all about Tatum Doucette from Messalonsky. He had multiple big runs, looking like Lamar Jackson out there, and he finished it off by getting through a few bodies and running it in for the short score. And folks, in a close game between the state's best players, it's no surprise that it got a little bit chippy out there, but not just a little bit chippy, it was very chippy. 5 personal foul penalties in the first half. Guys were putting hands on each other. They were trying to get in each other's head. Some of that penalty yardage helped the East back into the end zone with 7 minutes left in the half, and Aiden Mulcahy found his way in to take the lead. But hold on, folks, the West had something to say about that. They came down the field with less than a minute left to go in the half, and Moran dropped it off to Kai Turner, who turned on the Jets upfield for the tightrope score. But that fourth quarter is where it got really interesting. We had back and forth scores from the East and the West all the way down to the wire. It started with the West with an 80-yard touchdown strike with around 10 minutes to go. Then the East came back and scored themselves with 7 minutes left to go, and the West came away with the game-winning drive. 7 minutes, they used so much of that clock going down the field. Moran was throwing dots, and then finally, it was a 4th down situation at the goal line. One play or the game was over, and they come away with a touchdown strike from Moran to Kai Turner to win the game. It was an incredible play drawn up that they called during the timeout. Here is Kai to talk about that play.
And I'll tell you, at halftime, I was talking to Colin. I was telling him that seam ball is going to be there. The linebacker wasn't getting hands-on, wasn't jamming me. I got a free release up the middle, and I told him that if he ever needs it, it's going to be there. And when we needed it was at halftime, at the timeout. Coach Coop called the timeout. We walked over, and I told him, I said, Coach Coop, the seam ball is going to be there, and he trusted me. and it worked out, and so I'm very happy.
Now, folks, it was an incredible game, but what's more incredible is just what this game is to the state of Maine and the communities in Maine. If you talk to the players, they'll tell you just how much this opportunity means to them to play one final game as a high school senior.
The week of practice up at Dover Foxcroft, I'm really thankful for them giving us the facilities needed. I mean, it was unbelievable. How fast the chemistry was built. It was truly unbelievable. These boys that I met this week and only known for a week are ride or die friends for the rest of my life. This is a moment that comes for every football player, and I think just hold your head high, keep going. I mean, it was a blast.
For coaches like Dan O'Connell, it gives him the opportunity to work with players that he otherwise would not be able to get the opportunity to. This is his 18th Lobster Bowl coaching job, and it was a special one for him with his son Matt playing in it. But he made connections with all of the players on the field tonight.
I'm blessed to have the opportunity. I'm blessed to be a part of this game in this state. I've had great people go before me. My youth coaches, my high school coaches, my college coaches, the coaches that I've coached against and with in this game. And now to be almost 20 years into this thing, special to be a part of it, special for my family. I'd like to thank them because they give up a week too. It's just awesome. Great cause, great people, great sport, great opportunity. I'm just humbled to be a part of it.
I think what's most impressive about this weekend in this game, though, is the months prior to the game, a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds are asked to go out into their communities and raise money for Maine Shriners Children's Hospital, and they did an incredible job. They went over expectations, breaking the record with $317,000 raised as of Saturday night.
I think we ended up at over 317 before kickoff today. Which is about $90,000 higher than our previous record. So just an outstanding job by the young men and women that represented, their schools and their communities and being part of the Lobster Bowl. We're very grateful for the effort they put in.
And we got great kids. We got great kids. When they're committed, they do great things, and they did that this week. East and West and the cheerleaders all killed it. And that's why we raised $317,000 for the world's greatest philanthropy. I don't know how you don't get involved in that, and anybody who's watching this, find a way next year.
As a first-time Lobster Bowl attendee, I had a fantastic time. It was a successful one. It wasn't a dry one. It rained all day, but it was successful. For right now, though, that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
From the heart of Maine, where rugged beauty meets timeless craftsmanship, Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, taming the outdoors through groundwork, retaining walls and seawalls, building custom fireplaces that become the centerpiece of your home, crafting granite steps and patios that invite you outdoors, designing hardscapes that turn yards into living spaces, built to last, crafted for life. Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, quality in every stone.
Do you take propane tank?
Anything goes.
How about cardboard?
Anything goes.
How about old rug?
Yeah, anything goes.
So this too?
Furniture removal, basements, garages, attics, hoarder houses. It doesn't matter here at Anything Goes Junk Removal. Anything goes. Well, almost anything.
When I was 29, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I think part of research and advocating for more money for cancer research allows survivors to have more time. Senator Collins supports and advocates for more funding for cancer research so that people can have better treatments, they can have better outcomes, and therefore they can live better lives as cancer survivors. Thank you, Senator Collins. Continue fighting for our families.
Welcome back, everyone. Now for the latest on what's happening in Hollywood.
Here's ABC's Allison Kosick.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
No, he's not.
Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey defied expectations with its huge box office take in its opening weekend. The action epic brought in an estimated $124 million here at home, while earning another $139 million internationally. This is Nolan's biggest debut since 2012's The Dark Knight, and the third biggest movie opening of the year, behind Disney's Toy Story 5's $159 million and the Super Mario Galaxy movie's $131 million.
The ocean chose us for a reason.
Disney's live-action Moana came in at a very distant second place in theaters with $19 million, and in third place a tie, Universal's Minions and Monsters and Toy Story 5, each earning just under $15 million. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. Justin Bieber made a surprise appearance at Fanatics Fest in New York on Saturday, joining Tom Brady and Novak Djokovic. The four-day event brings together 50 professional athletes and celebrities with 50 fans who participate in a variety of challenges to determine the ultimate athlete. Bieber quickly moved to the top of the Fanatics Games leaderboard, followed by Brady with fan competitor J.J. Mitchell in third. Irish actor Brenda Fricker, who won an Academy Award for her supporting role in the 1989 film My Left Foot, has died. Fricker became the first Irish woman to win an Oscar for her role opposite Daniel Day-Lewis. She was 81. And happy birthday to Carlos Santana. The Mexican-born American guitarist is 79. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Still one of the best guitarists around.
Yeah. They'll have to do some research. You'll have to.
I'll show you some. I'll show you some videos.
Please do. Well, now here's meteorologist Devin Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go as we check out the wave heights, just at around 2 feet according to the buoys. Right nearby, a little bit higher, further off towards the north and east, but the active surf is farther out towards sea at around 5 to 8 feet at this moment in time. Meanwhile, as we check out the water temperatures, in the 50s and 60s right now. Overall, pretty similar farther out towards sea, very much on the warmer side, farther down toward the south. As we do take a look at things, we do have clouds tracking from the west and going off towards the east at this time. We'll get those out of here. You can see a little bit of precipitation over in parts of Canada. That will leave us alone. High pressure will be in full control today with a mostly sunny sky. And overall today, again, we'll have the winds picking up today. With winds gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. So futurecast moving forward for us, again, a mostly sunny sky. We'll have some clouds from time to time, becoming breezy as well, and we'll have that gusty wind again up to 25 miles per hour. More clouds on the way later on tonight. It will become rather mostly cloudy at times, even partly cloudy, and we'll have some rain on the way coming up, but not till about Tuesday night and Wednesday. Here we are right there, showers and thunderstorms on the way as we head towards Tuesday night and even into parts of Wednesday. And that's where we have to watch things. So there is a marginal threat for some of those storms to turn strong to perhaps severe. Some gusty winds and hail will be possible with some of those storms as well. So here's what we're looking at too, the monkey meter, as we do check things out. As we head towards Tuesday and Wednesday, dew points will be on the rise coming up with that as well, into the middle to possibly upper 60s. So your forecast for today, we have a mostly sunny sky, breezy out there as well with highs in the upper 70s and that west wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. All right, later on tonight, we do have middle 50s under a partly cloudy sky and that south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour, so backing off for a little while. Upper 70s for tomorrow, mostly cloudy and windy with that south wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour, so really becoming gusty again. Alrighty, let's check out your extended forecast. We have more showers and thunderstorms coming up for your Wednesday with highs in the mid 70s. And then for your Thursday, here we go, partly cloudy with highs in the upper 70s, and then low 80s for your Friday under a mostly sunny sky.
Take a step back in time with the Bangor Historical Society. Located in the heart of Bangor, the Society brings local history to life through fascinating exhibits, historic collections, and guided tours for all ages. Explore artifacts, photographs, and stories that help shape our community, and a special viewing of a copy of the Declaration of Independence celebrating America at 250. Whether you're a history lover or just looking for something unique to experience, there's always something new to discover. Open Tuesday to Saturday from 10 to 4.
Did you know Susan Collins was the deciding vote for Donald Trump's Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade? And she voted to put more than 100 Trump judges on the bench. Because of Susan Collins, states are banning abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest. And women are dying. And she's still standing by it.
I do not regret that vote.
Tell Susan Collins, stop voting for Trump's anti-choice judges.
The right dock should fit your shoreline and make life on the water easier, more rewarding, and more fun. When you choose Shoremaster from Hammond Lumber Company, you get all that, along with unmatched strength, versatility, and style. Shoremaster's tool-free Infinity Track system makes adding accessories a breeze. Hammond also offers polydock floating docks, perfect for deep or fluctuating waters. Transform your waterfront into your personal paradise with a Shoremaster Infinity Dock system or floating polydock system from Hammond Lumber Company.
Millionaire is back with famous friends playing for charity.
Are you going to be mad if I'm wrong?
No, the charity's mine. And someone is bound to become a meme.
Don't take my word for it. The Emmy-winning Who Wants to Be a Millionaire premieres Wednesday on ABC.
Cancer affects everyone, but there is hope at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center's Champion the Cure Challenge, where every dollar raised helps patients in our own backyard. Make a difference. Walk, run, or cycle August 15th in Brewer. Visit ctcchallenge.org.
Two paddleboarders in Texas saved a drowning raccoon in the Colorado River. Tucker Ollinger and Owen Lee were fishing in the rain on Tuesday when they saw an animal in distress right in the water. They paddled closer and realized that it was a raccoon. Ollinger reached his paddle out to the furry animal, helping him climb aboard. The animal was seen looking around helplessly before nibbling at Ollinger's shoe and taking shelter underneath him. They reached land and the raccoon was seen running off without a second look.
He got a new friend.
It did. It got saved. Look at them. They're just laughing.
That's great.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, that's all the time that we have left for this hour, but you can join us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22.
Have a great day, everyone.
What if you could whiten your teeth by simply brushing your teeth? Now you can with Smile Actives, the teeth whitening breakthrough that safely gets your teeth white and keeps them white every day just by brushing your teeth.
I never thought that whitening my teeth could be so easy. I just put the gel on the brush, the toothpaste on it, brush, and I can see my white teeth.
Simply add Smile Actives to any toothpaste and our patented PolyClean technology activates into a powerful microfoam that penetrates into the enamel surface to safely lift and remove stains.
You need a simple way to whiten your teeth. Without strips, without trays, without going to the dentist. And it was about time that a product was developed that you would be able to do that with just brushing.
And now, Smile Actives is even better with new Pro Whitening Gel with 33% greater whitening power, clinically shown to whiten teeth faster, up to 8 shades. 100% of users saw whiter teeth. On food stains, coffee and wine stains, even on veneers, crowns, and dentures.
I eat the blueberries, I drink the coffee, and I know that Smile Actives will keep my teeth white every day.
If you could use something so easy like Smile Actives to take yellow teeth to white teeth, why wouldn't you?
Why spend hundreds of dollars for whitening treatments at the dentist when now you can whiten your teeth with new Smile Actives Pro Whitening Gel every time you brush your teeth? Call or go to smileactives.com and for a limited time get new Pro Whitening Gel for just $24.95. Order in the next 5 minutes and buy one, get one absolutely free for just $24.95. That's 2 for 1 and save 58%. We'll even include free shipping. Get your teeth whiter guaranteed or return it within 60 days for your money back.
I smile every day now.
the difference is literally night and day.
So now I'm always smiling, always choosing, because now my teeth are much whiter.
This offer is not available in stores, so call or click now before the special buy one get one free offer goes away.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Good morning, America. Major flash flooding, a tropical threat, the escalating war with Iran, gas prices choose
Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, Maine Democrats gathered over the weekend to elect county delegates who will choose a replacement for the Senate nomination. We'll have the latest coming up.
Plus, a Mattawamkeag man was arrested after police say he struck and injured a family of 4 with a vehicle in Lincoln on Saturday.
And the Loon Fest celebration was also held over the weekend. We'll hear all about it.
And good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll have those stories and more coming up. We hope you had a great weekend, kind of a mixed weekend weather-wise.
It was. I kind of experienced, it was sprinkling on and off and then some rain here and there, but you said other parts of the state kind of got a lot of rain.
They got drenched.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I was down on the coast, we got a few sprinkles.